What's up, everybody? How's it going? So welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. So I'm down here by the iron farm. This is where we're going to start today's project. In between episodes, I did go back to the gold farm to get a little bit more gold. I've got a bunch more stashed here in a shulker box, and I've got some yellow wool and some yellow glass. So I have been kind of teasing this project over the last couple of episodes where we've been kind of gathering up our supplies, but as you guys can read by the title of the episode, we are going to start our yellow brick road. We're doing a yellow brick road out to the witch's hut, and it's gonna be a nice long path. I didn't know what I should do for sort of in between here and the witch's hut. I figured, most of the time I'm going to be flying, so I don't really need like a road per se, but it will be kind of cool to have something go in between here and there. So today's project is going to be just building on the yellow brick road out to the Wicked Witch of I guess it's to the north, but I guess wasn't the North Witch the Nice Witch? I think so. I guess it would be the Nice Witch hut. I guess I don't know what I'm saying. So I guess I'm just gonna have to dig out this path here underwater. I've got my respiration and my Aqua Affinity helmet on, so that's not gonna be a problem. I can get this done here pretty quickly, and we can do our underwater building portion, and we can get this done here pretty quickly. Okay, so let me go all the way back here so I can start the pattern the same way that we were doing it. So we need 2 gold there. Let's just do all the gold first, and then we can go back through and do all the wool as well, and then we'll put the glass on top of it. Okay, so we are just about to this witch's hut. We are going all the way over to the witch farm witch's hut. We're going all the way across country on this one, so this is going to be a pretty complicated build. I got all the gold here in first, and then we will put the wool in, and once I get the wool in, I'll add in the glass, and that's when things are really going to start popping, because here underwater you don't really see much of the color. Okay, so we got all that part completed with the gold and the wool. Now all we gotta do is go through and add this. So I guess I do have a texture pack of sorts that doesn't have the little tiny lines that are in the glass. The standard Minecraft glass has the little lines there. So I think that really helps make this pop. The colors really shine through. So this definitely looks like a yellow brick road. So I like this pattern. This is going to look pretty cool. Okay, so that's the last little bit on that first section. You guys can kind of see how the yellow brick road pattern is kind of coming through. I figured if I had just done all gold, it would have been kind of plain. So the sort of checkerboard pattern with the wool comes through the glass, and we've got a nice little yellow brick road pattern. So we do have to dig out a little bit more space around here. We're on, oops, we got a ghost block there. We're doing 2 over there. Okay, so we gotta dig out all of this, everything under here. Okay, so I got a bunch of space dug out here so that I can continue the pattern. Oops, that one was kind of a mistake. So we will keep doing the pattern here. That's going to go all the way under the witch's hut here. And it's going to start going up the hill once we get past the witch's hut. So should be right about there. Then we can fill in with wool. And then we'll put glass on top, just like we were over there. So that'll fill in there, cover that in, take that back out, and then we can start putting in glass. So, Okay, so that covers that up. And I guess we're gonna have, let's see, we need 1, 2 there and 2 there. So we got right there, and so we got one. Let's do right there, I think. Okay, so then we'll just bring this guy back a little bit. Okay, so that was a mistake there. Put that over there. Cover this all up with glass. One of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to connect these legs. I kind of want the legs to go through to the through the glass, if that makes any sense. So I am going to need to chop down a tree. I guess I'm just going to have to punch it with my hand, though. Okay, so if I put that there, then I can surround that with glass, and it'll kind of look like, the leg is going, through the glass. I guess I gotta put down gold there, and then I can put that in there, and then surround that in glass. So, oops. We're gonna continue the pattern over here. Get this gold and wool and everything. So, gold there, wool goes there. Okay, so let's clean this up, then we can fill this all in with glass. Let's get glass, cover that back up. So, how far out did this come? We came out to here on this side, so we want to make that even on this side. So we'll do glass, or gold, sorry, and then I think it should be right about there. Gold there, and fill that in with glass. Okay, so that is looking good. We need a couple more pieces, one more piece of that tree. I did pick it up. I thought I had punched it. Actually, we're going to need 2 more pieces of that tree. Okay, so now we've got the witch's hut just chilling out here on the yellow brick road. And I'm going to have to dig out a little bit more back here as well. Okay, so we got that one row behind here filled in. So now we're going to actually start to bring it up by 1. So we're going to go right in here. But we are going to continue the pattern. So gold there, and then wool on there and there, with glass on top of it. So, oops, break that with Silk Touch so we get it back. So then, we also need to do the same right about here. So, actually no, we're going to keep it the same level so that each one is, a square. And then we'll go up. So, oops, derp. Using the wrong yellows. There's so many different yellow blocks, I'm getting a little bit confused here. Okay. Alright, so the pattern continues and we're going up, but now we're only going to do 4 wide instead of extra wide. So we progressively just get a little bit less wide as we go up. Going to do gold there and wool there, and we gotta dig these out. Place those. Oops, let me fill that back in. There we go. And then glass on top of that. So there. Now we'll kind of make this stair step pattern, just going up by 1 each time. And we will slowly make our way across the country. Okay, so I got my space dug out here so that I can just do my planting first and then move on quicker. That way we can do all of our gold at once, and then we can swap over to wool and do all of our wool at once. So we're going to have a nice little stair step up here once we're done, and then we'll get to cover it up with glass. So let me see. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Building 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is the layer where everything else is going to be built on. So that's where we're going to continue going from there. And I'll just dig out from there. So thing about this is that it's going to be a long road ahead of us. So we've got to do all the way down this for several hundreds of, I don't think it's thousands, but I think it's hundreds of blocks in this direction that we have to not only dig, but we also have to build a bunch of gold and wool and glass and everything. So hopefully I've done my calculations correct and I know how many blocks that I need to build with. Oh. Whoa. Okay. Well, let's be careful there. So we got a pretty good start on it, but we've got a long way to go in that direction. So I figured this would be a perfect chance for a time lapse. Alright, check it out. So this is our yellow brick road. So I didn't really have much of a plan beyond this first stretch here, but then I decided to actually drop the trail or the path down a little bit, and then I totally had no plan on wrapping all the way around the witch farm. That was actually a lot more work than I had kind of planned on, but I think it works out. I think it looks pretty good. That's where I knew I had left a ender chest somewhere, but I wasn't sure exactly where it was. But yeah, I think the path around looks pretty good. Glass is a non-spawnable block, so that does kind of sort of help the spawning rates just a tiny little bit. But yeah, I didn't really have a plan on what to do and where to end it, but basically we've now got our yellow brick road from the witch's hut. It actually goes from one witch's hut to the other witch's hut, which kind of makes sense considering the Wizard of Oz, so it's actually pretty cool. So I think that kind of ties it all together, ties this into our build, because I was hoping originally to have built this witch farm machinery type thing over there next to our base, but it ended up actually being a lot bigger build, so it kind of worked out that it's farther away from home than that thing is, because having to build this whole lake and make everything completely non-spawnable, it's actually kind of good that it's away from home. So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed the time lapse, let me know. I always enjoy making a time lapse, so I try and include those in some of these bigger builds. So let me know if you guys enjoy that. But I'm just kind of flying around, getting the aerial view of our yellow brick road. I think it looks pretty cool from up there, actually. The diagonal part of it doesn't exactly work out. I don't know. I guess I could have just gone over and then up, and then I don't know. I guess I wasn't planning on, when I did the diagonal part, I wasn't exactly planning on going all the way to the thing, so I could have just probably just gone straight and then over. But I guess it makes sense because that's more like what I'm going to do when I'm flying, is I'm going to go from here and just kind of cut through the forest here. So this actually kind of makes sense. This is more going to be the path that I'm going to take when I'm flying back and forth. So if I do need to walk, that would be also be the path that I would take, although it's not lit up at all. I didn't even think of that. So I guess it wouldn't exactly be the safest route, but that's okay. So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching this episode, and I'll see you guys next time.